Patrick, how's the fall going?
Oh, it's going good. Had our first scrimmage today, so that was fun, flying around. But yeah, overall it's been pretty good.
You guys are pretty deep in your tight end room. Just what's the competition like that like every practice?
Yes, sir, we are. Coach Roman says that there's no, I guess, like set in stone depth chart in that room. It's just how we perform every day in practice, and then obviously once we get in the games, how we perform in the games will determine that.
How do you describe the role that tight end plays in this offense overall?
Yes, sir. I think we can really do anything. So we're in the box sometimes. Sometimes they split us out. So we just like to do whatever the coaches ask for us.
This is becoming a pretty experienced group with how long yourself and Houston and even Dan especially have been in this system. How have you guys been able to kind of grow or expand your role? How do you guys get better with more experience?
Oh, for sure. We're trying to get better every single day. And me personally, I've learned a lot, playing quarterback in high school and making that transition to tight end. So I had to learn a lot as I got here. But, having those 2 years and then now this being my third, I've learned a lot and, just always ready to get better.
Can you be more specific about that? What are some of the biggest things that you've learned about this position and how to play it at this level?
Yeah, so first off, just the physicality. That was a big change for me. So I think I've been doing a good job with that. I treat it like a mentality. Like, obviously the off season, the weight room gets you strong to be physical, but having that choice in your mind to actually go do it is key for me.
I was going to say a lot of guys have talked about how they've changed physically this offseason in particular. How has your body kind of changed? Do you weigh something different from what you did last year?
I'm about the same weight, but my strength has gone up and my speed has gone up tremendously. So our strength staff has done a great job with that, and I think a lot of the guys are a lot faster this year. So it's gonna be cool to see this season.
I imagine coming from quarterback, it's always going to be a question about blocking. How have you taken to that part of it, and how has that gotten better over time?
I've put a lot of emphasis on that just because it was new to me. But for me, it's just the first steps, like the little things, just getting myself in a position to be successful. That's been key for me.
The three guys you have in that group, the guys we've seen the most of, at least yourself and Dan and Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You see yourself all as kind of similar players, or you bring different things to the table?
I think so. We all are athletic, but we do have strengths and weaknesses. Like Houston, he's a great route runner and great hands. Dan can really do anything. I think he has a really good deep ball playability. And then me, I try to have myself be just the all-around tight end and just do whatever the coaches ask for me.
Your offense has a lot of people back from last year. Does that make things easier or different as you go through this camp?
It does, especially having Owen back with his first year starting last year, having him this whole off season, and just the amount of extra work we've all gotten together. I think it's really going to pay off this season.
How do you look back on last year? What do you take away from that season?
As a team,
Yeah.
I think the common theme is like we underachieved, which we definitely did, but I think it just showed our resilience towards the end of that season to bounce back from some of those losses and continue to play hard and give perfect effort.
What about for yourself? How did you think you did last year, and what's the outlook for this year?
Yeah, I think I did all right. I try to hold myself to a high standard, and there's definitely some plays out there I left on the field, and so I've just been working in the off season to make those plays and just get better in everything.
Freshman All-American is pretty good though. For I think it was athletic. Put you on that list. What did it mean to get that on there?
Yeah, I was pretty proud of that. But like I said, there's some plays I left out there, and so I just know I can be even better this season.
Coach Rose said you guys have spent some time this fall talking about the 4-H's, the heroes, highlights, history, and hardship.
Mm-hmm.
How important are those conversations? What do you guys get out of that?
Oh, they've been awesome. I really like how he's letting all the players do it together. So just hearing some of the guys' stories just that I've never heard before and like what they've gone through, I think it's just going to make us a stronger team and just have better connections.
What are some things that you talked about when you had the opportunity to share your 4-H's?
It could be a lot, but I talked about my dad. He was my hero growing up, just his work ethic, and he was from a small town in Ohio, and he had a dream to be a pilot, and he chased that dream when everybody's a farmer up there. So just him proving that, like, if you have a dream, you can go attain it.
How about highlights? Is there something you're most proud of at this point?
Yeah. I mentioned the freshman All-American, but what really meant a lot to me was I was a SCA leader this past off season. So we had a bunch of athlete teams with UTSA come and meet every week, and I was able to lead some of those and share my testimony, and just being able to affect somebody's life spiritually, like, that meant a lot to me.
Is there anything in the hardships category that you wanted to make your guys aware of or that you shared?
Yeah, so I always like to say, like, I'm very blessed to start just from hearing what my teammates have been through, but I did tear my shoulder in high school, my throwing shoulder, and I grew up being a quarterback. So, when the quarterback dream was kind of out the window for me, it was kind of hard eternally. Like, I was questioning my identity just because that was always my dream, to play quarterback in college and at the next level. And so when that kind of, like, where that setback happened, I really had a tough time being like, what do I want to do? And lucky enough, I'm a tight end here at UTSA, and it's been awesome.
Did you identify pretty quickly in that process that you could try another position, or do you think that might be as far as football goes? Or?
It did. I had receiver experience like my sophomore year, so I knew I could use that film and just show my athletic ability through Twitter and, like, some of that stuff. And I knew I had the frame to be a tight end, so I was just, texting coaches. I was pretty under-recruited, but I was just, going to all the camps, and that's how I got here. I went to this camp at UTSA, and the coaches saw me, and that was that.
So, yeah, what's your perspective on that now, knowing that, I mean, obviously at the time the injury felt like the worst thing in the world, but without that you might not have ended up on this path that puts you where you are now?
Exactly, it just shows that God's got a plan for you, and you got to trust that plan, and He'll make your path straight.
Cool. All right. Hey, Patrick.
All right.